Okay, part two of the car museum. So this is a 1927 Lincoln cutaway engine. 5 engines were cut and assembled at the Ford Trade School and displayed at major Lincoln dealerships, a gift to the Nethercutt collection from Tom Powles. This is a V8. I guess this was manufactured in Detroit, Michigan. But yeah, that is a thing of beauty. That is what the engine looks like. That is beautiful. So let's take a look at some of the other vehicles we have here. This is a 1955 Ford Thunderbird. This is an 8-cylinder, 193 horsepower. It says the 1955 Ford Thunderbird was designed and built to rival Chevy's exciting new 1954 Corvette. So the Thunderbird was created to rival the Corvette. I kind of like the Thunderbird style more. The Thunderbird with V8 power and roll-up glass windows outsold the Corvette immediately. Ford described the car as a true high-performance car with all the convenience of a family sedan. Price when new, this car was worth about $3,500 in 1955. That is a beautiful color too. Man, that is a nice looking car. 1955 Ford Thunderbird. Again, this is at the Nethercutt Car Museum in Sylmar, California. That is a thing of beauty, I must say. They don't make cars like they used to. Here we go, a 1983 DeLorean. So price when new was $25,000. Wow, back in 1983. These are the cars that are in Back to the Future. It says John Z. DeLorean, former vice president of General Motors, started his own company to build an ethical sports car that would be ecologically correct. Unfortunately, quality performance production ultimately let legal problems force an early bankruptcy. Only 8,583 DeLoreans were built. The body panels are unpainted brushed stainless steel. Wow. So I didn't know that. So the gentleman who started DeLorean was a former vice president of GM, of General Motors. Beautiful. Let's see what else we got here. A 1952 Fiat Model 500C. Price when new, this car was worth $575. It evolved from Fiat's very popular Fiat 500. It says the previous owner of this car completed a full restoration from 2007 to 2010. The exterior finish was completed by Custom and Motorcycle Legend. This car was bought at auction in 2011 and is now owned by Jack and Helen Nethercutt. So the car sits here in this museum now. 1926 Bugatti. So this is a 4-cylinder. It has a horsepower of 40. It says the Type 23 Bugatti was an affordable small car from the same builder whose race cars dominated European racing throughout 2 decades before World War II. The car is in its original unrestored condition and has a fabric body of color that was created by Gaston Grummer of France. This car was bought at the Paris show in 1926. Oh, wow, by A.P. Gianni, founder of Bank of Italy, which became Bank of America for his son Virgil. Wow, that's a really cool fact. So this is a 1926 Bugatti. Wow, that is a really interesting story. The 1933 American Austin Bantam Coupe. This car was worth $445 when new, 15 horsepower. The American Austin is similar to its British cousin, but with much more style. The very attractive American Austin was styled by a Russian industrial designer. It was the smallest car built in the U.S. with a 75-inch wheelbase. I guess, I don't know if that's so true or maybe that was just for its time. That's a really, really good-looking car. Wow, it's a nice car. 1929 Kiesel Model 8 126 White Eagle Speedster. Price when new was about $3,300. 8-cylinder. It says German immigrants William and George Kiesel started out as farmers, then grocers, and then manufacturers of farm equipment. In 1906, the brothers started the Kiesel Motor Car Company. By 1929, Kiesel was a well-known car company and introduced the Kiesel White Eagle. Okay, beautiful. Definitely, if you were a golfer back then, that would make sense, right? Very cool. 1948 MG Model T Roadster, TC Roadster. Horsepower 70. This car was worth $2,238 when new. It says MG automobiles began to trickle into America not long after production began after World War II. American servicemen fell in love with the story. This beautiful 1948 is slightly modified for better performance with the supercharger, thin aluminum brake, drums, chrome wire wheels, and special paint and upholstery. That is a beautiful car. Wish I could get a better angle. There we go. Let's see what else we got here. The 1946 Volkswagen Type 11 Saloon. The Volkswagen Saloon was built in 1946 in Germany under British occupation of the factory after World War II. Prototypes of the People's Car were built as early as 1934 by Ferdinand Porsche under Adolf Hitler's direction. Wow. Museum founder J.B. Nethercutt was quoted in the 1970s saying, "Volkswagen is the message that Detroit ignored." Ooh, the message that Detroit ignored. That's an interesting saying. And then we come here, we have the 1932 American Austin Bantam Roadster. When this car was new, it was $445. It said Herbert Austin started the American Austin Car Company in 1929. Despite the market crash, the production quota was 100 cars per day and one of the newest, best equipped factories of the day. The company was saved from bankruptcy and stayed alive for 4 more years, owned by Jack and Ellen Nethercutt. So yeah, these are the vehicles here. These are very, very cool. 1958 Vespa. This car when new was $525. This is a nice car. The Vespa 400 is a rear engine microcar produced by Motorist. They were built in France under license from Pigalle, Italy, the famous maker of Millions. Okay, very beautiful. Trying to keep it brief because there's so much, but yeah, this was part 2 of the Nethercutt Car Museum. So we'll do one last, just real quick walkthrough for you guys. So 1955 Ford Thunderbird. This is the 1983 DeLorean. This is the 1952 Fiat. 1926 Bugatti. 1933 American Austin Bantam Coupe. 1929 Kiesel, hope I'm saying that correct. 1948 MG Model T Roadster. 1946 Volkswagen. 1932 American Austin Bantam Roadster. And then last but not least, we have the 1958 Vespa Model 400 Jolly. Cool.